Longlegs has had one of the best marketing campaigns of any recent horror movie. It's been great. It's been, not spoiling anything, but the problem with that is that some people are coming out of the woodwork and saying, oh, it's the scariest movie they've ever seen. They're vomiting in the theater. They're throwing up. They're passing out. We saw this, though. We saw this with Terrifier 2, and it's a marketing ploy, but it's leading to expectations of the film that are kind of impossible to reach. Is Longlegs scary? Let's talk about it. So, fright is something that is subjective. That means that it is a personal feeling. It is something that is hard to put a number on. It's like you can't give a cinema score or a Rotten Tomatoes score for scary. You either feel scared or you don't. But Longlegs is different in the way that it's not just a boo, haunted house kind of thing. It's not Halloween Horror Nights with people popping out of windows at you. It is a feeling of unnerve and unease and just this feeling in the back of your neck that it's always there while you're watching it. It's sort of like a blanket that gets placed over you that's wet and sort of holds you there. That is the feeling that I can say that I had during Longlegs. In my review, which you can watch right here wherever the card goes, I talked about this. I talked about how during the film, I just felt myself naturally leaning forward to go like this while I was watching the film. That is something that I can tell that sort of adds to that feeling of unease, because if you're just comfortable watching a movie, you're sitting back with your feet up, well, you're not going to be as scared, but your body naturally does things while you're watching movies that can tell you how you're feeling at the time. Leaning forward like that, putting your hands on your head, going like this or whatever, are things that are sort of just second nature while you're watching because you're not really paying attention to what your hands are doing. That's something that I was feeling during Longlegs. And that's the most important thing about this, is that you can watch Longlegs and you can go, ha ha, I laughed at The Exorcist when I was 6. I don't get scared by anything. Or you can watch Longlegs and you can say, that was a really damn scary movie. And it was really unnerving, it was really terrifying. And it's just two different people watching things. The first example of the person is kind of the gatekeeping, person in the horror community here. But you can still watch horror movies and not be scared. There are horror movies that are, by textbook definition, a horror movie that are not scary, but they have horror elements to them. Longlegs is a horror movie, and it is scary, and it has just all the feelings of a horror movie that you would want. It feels like that classic FBI tale. It feels like Silence of the Lambs, but it's not exactly like that. It's this new sort of amalgamation, and that's what makes movies movies. Is you have something that we know that's familiar in genre, and then you take that genre and you spin it a little bit and you add your own personal flavor, like Osgood Perkins, the director and writer of Longlegs, did, and you add other elements to it. You add Nicolas Cage, you add Michael Monroe, you add everything to it. You add the time period, you add things that people see that are familiar, you add motifs. That is what a movie is all about, folks, and so that is what Longlegs is all about. It is a frightening, unnerving, sort of slow burn, but it's not like The Exorcist, or it's not like Halloween. It's not like a lot of those other horror movies out there that people are comparing it to by saying, oh, it's frightening, it's terrifying, it's the scariest thing I've ever seen. That might not be true for some people. It might be true for others. It was a really, really scary movie. It's not the scariest movie I've ever seen. I compared it in my review to Skinamarink, not because of the content of the film, but the feeling of unease, the feeling of unrest, the feeling of you can't really turn your brain off because you're sitting there wondering what's happening next. You're paying attention to the background, all of that stuff. Skinamarink, obviously a different type of movie. That movie, you either love it or you hate it, all of that. Longlegs feels similar to that, feels that similar vibe of, turning on your TV in the middle of the night and there's paid programming or, cartoons on that are public domain that are sort of slightly off or weird. That's the feeling. That feeling of it being awake in the middle of the night and thinking that you're seeing something, or maybe you woke up and you thought that pile of clothes was a monster or whatever. It's that feeling, and that feeling of unease where you wake up from a bad dream and your heart is racing. Longlegs makes you feel like that, and then some. So these people and this whole argument, this discourse or whatever about, is it scary? Is it not? It's not scary. It is scary. It's healthy discourse, but it's also unhealthy discourse because you cannot put a number on the feeling of fright for people. There is no such thing as scary score, like I said at the beginning. You can't put a number on it. You can't put a grade on it. because it's something that people feel differently. You feel fright based on your own personal experiences. If you've ever babysat and you've been scared and it's been around Halloween, you thought about Michael Myers, Halloween might scare you more than if you haven't been a babysitter. Or if you've been an FBI agent or a law enforcement or whatever, and you've gone into a creepy situation, Longlegs might scare you more than it doesn't. Or if you've ever remembered seeing that weird, like, creepy person when you were a kid down the street and then they disappear, or whatever, that might scare you, make it so that Longlegs is a little more scary than other movies. It's all subjective. And that's the biggest thing to remember when you're arguing or talking or whatever about Longlegs and you're telling people, oh, it's really scary or it's not really scary. Maybe get a little more into the details for people and talk about, and know who you're talking to and know what you're talking about, because that is the heart of film discussion, is adding context to things and not just going, it's the scariest thing I've ever seen, because that's just going to get people undue hype, undue expectations, and then they go into the film and then they end up hating it. It's also not a very good critique to say it wasn't very scary, therefore it's not good. That is lazy film criticism, and there's plenty of that. So, you know, if Longlegs is scary or it isn't scary, it's not up to me. I thought it was scary. You might think differently, but it's out this weekend. You can go see it for yourself. It stars Nicolas Cage and Michael Monroe. It's from director Osgood Perkins, and so go check it out. If you want a full review of it, you can check out my video right here. I did a full review of Longlegs, spoiler-free, no spoilers whatsoever, so check it out.